Bodycount is a game with something to say. It's a game that looks at the modern first-person shooter and says, hey, you're doing it wrong. But does Bodycount have anything else worth saying? Let's find out in our review. Bodycount opens by asking how many times have people promised to save the world and then let the world down? Oh yeah, well, in the world of video games, not very many. And Bodycount is not going to be anyone to break that trend. Playing as an operative for the benevolent network, you are dropped into a civil war in Africa and tasked with sorting things out. But things aren't as they seem, and you quickly discover a shady organization working behind the scenes. This is all the story you're gonna get. This is an FPS with only the essentials left in, and plot isn't one of them. But don't worry, because Bodycount's battles are being fought everywhere else. Forget first and the word person. The key word here is shooter. And what an interesting shooter this is. A mix of arcade combos and a static cover system, Bodycount has a playstyle all of its own. It takes a level for it to kind of settle in, but you'll soon be dipping in and out of cover, executing headshots and collecting enemy dropped intel in order to power up your health, damage buffing abilities, and your enemy clearing airstrike. Open battlefields, fluid movement, and some great touches like double tapping the grenade button to throw an impact explosive all mean that Bodycount has an aggressive pace all of its own. This suite of skills and weapons feeds nicely into the game's flexible level design, often dropping you in the middle of a battle with a waypoint to follow. Each level plays out like a mini sandbox, packed with hundreds of enemies and catering to all kinds of approach. There's landmines, cover-destroying SMGs, and even a silenced pistol if you feel like a little bit of stealth. Although it's difficult to resist shooting those explosive barrels, let's face it. Unfortunately, it's when this fluid design really gets going that the game begins to creak a little bit under the strain, with the AI in particular losing its grip. And for Bodycount, this is only the beginning of the problems that start to show up after the first few hours. Level reuse, cheap-looking cutscenes, and graphics that fail to support the striking art direction all contribute to the problems, and it becomes quickly apparent that you're playing a game that could have benefited from more development time. And then suddenly, it's all over, with the short campaign loosely tying things up. The promise of the global network that the game opens with is sadly never realized, and all that's left is a limited multiplayer mode. So what's left after the smoke clears? It's difficult to say. No one element of Bodycount ever gets the chance to really show us what it can do, from the locations that display a flair for exaggerated design to the half-hearted combo system. But what the game does manage to imprint on your memory is a love for destruction, like we needed any help with that. In the face of the brilliantly designed weapons, everything can be shredded, and the satisfaction of tearing one of the game's minimalist tech bunkers to a pile of plate glass fragments and sparking wall panels never gets old.
So close, yet so far. The doorway's only there.
But in the end, its endless appetite for destruction, unique art, and fluid gameplay can't save the game from feeling like a half-finished, low-budget project. At a time when downloadable games are offering experiences high quality enough to match AAA titles, Bodycount is too little, too late. Perhaps it would have been a different story if Bodycount had switched to a download-only title, and in its current state, it's going to be hard for an FPS with a short campaign, limited multiplayer modes, and clunky tech to make itself heard, no matter how bombastic its explosions are.
I can see more troops approaching your position.
How many times have people promised to save the FPS and then let the FPS down? Ugh, more times than we can count. And despite its charm, Bodycount is just another name on that long, long list. The definition of a wasted opportunity. Bodycount has all the ideas, it just doesn't know what to do with them.